On our first story, one person was shot last night after gunmen attacked a mobile money operator in Wale. Eyewitnesses said the attack occurred at about 6 p.m. near the district's police headquarters, where the three armed men arrived on a motorbike and opened fire before taking away a huge sum of money from the operator. A local watchman witnessed the attack and narrates to JoyNews.
Here. Then the time we are here, we see their shoot gun here. That time, everybody ran away, sleep down. Some people they coming, oh, they saw them, everybody will run away. They say supreme money. They pop. Everybody ran away. Then they move the money. They pass this road. Go out, they go.
Asked us to lie down. They will lay down. And I was just lying down. And they shot, and one of them pointed the gun directly to me and stopped and shoot. And it nearly touched me. They all flying me.
We are still on the time bomb. And I'm pleading with the security agency, they should be up and do it. Not necessarily the guys at the barricades all over the checkpoints. They should try to get them into the area. As I was saying, for me and this area, I will not rely much again on security agencies. Right. But we can only call for military to come and help in addition to the police. But for now as we speak, the guys should come out and help. Okay. As a vigilante group to the area. Because like the system is not changing.
Now, JoyNews learned the place of the attack has always been busy due to high patronage from the students of the Wale Technical and Vocational Institute and travelers on the Tamale-Bolga Highway. The victim has been identified as a 17-year-old boy, Salifu Isa, a brother to the mobile money operator. He was shot in the back around his waist area, but fortunately, he was rushed to the Wale Government Hospital with a minor wound. Now, let's go to the phone lines and speak to Ilyasu Tanko, who speaks for us from that part of the country. Now, Ilyasu, I'm sure viewers would recall that just last week we reported a robbery of a mobile money operator in that part of the country. Tell me, how bad is the security situation there? Right, Ilyasu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Daniel.
I was just recalling how very recently we reported another robbery of mobile money merchants in that part of the country. How bad is the security situation there?
Well, Daniel, it's very difficult to hear you, but I guess you're asking me how bad the security situation is in the Wale area.
Yes, I am.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you recall that less than 2 weeks ago, we reported of robbery accident in the Kukwazubu area. And the next day, there was also a robbery attack on the Wale Highway. 6 men hijacked that particular highway and robbed travelers in the area. And just on Friday, before this particular incident, another robbery attack happened at part of a portion of the Tamale Highway at a community called Kukwabula, which is closer to the Nasia area. And only yesterday, around 6 p.m., armed men on motorcycle invaded this particular mobile operator, which is just closer to the regional, to the district police headquarters, by the way, and also closer to the Wale Technical and Vocational Institute. They went there, opened fire, and robbed this particular operator. In the end, one person was also injured and currently is in the hospital. I mean, since the police in the area had to suspend operations or patrol duties to certain locations 1 month ago after one of their vehicles broke down in an accident. And since then, Daniel, robbery attacks both on highways and in residential neighborhoods in the municipality have escalated. And as a result of that, residents here are really expressing fears about the activities of government, especially as we go for elections this year. So the situation continues to deteriorate even to dangerous levels in the municipality here.
Now, wow, Elias, that sounds very worrying. Tell me, have leadership responded in any way? I'm talking about the police or the municipal chief executives.
Well, the police have been complaining about lack of logistics, especially, like I said, they had only 3 patrol vehicles. One got damaged in that particular deadly accident, and so they have 2 now. And then also we understand in the last 4 years, about 28 police officers have been transferred out in the municipality. There have not been replacement. And so there's a huge deficit in logistics and the number of staff the police are currently. So the police all the time calling authorities to provide them with men and vehicle, logistics, especially vehicle for them to carry on with their activities. Mind you, it is the police in Wale, they are also overseeing the Mampurugu Mwaduri district, which is an overseas hard-to-reach district. And the police here have only 2 vehicles using for their patrol work. So all the time, what they are asking for is authorities to intervene by giving them more vehicles and men to be able to fight crime and combat this increasing robbery attacks in the area.
Now, Elias, finally, often some of these robbers are known in the communities in which they operate. Do we know anything, apart from what the police have been telling us, about this gang?
Sorry, Daniel, can you come again, please?
I'm asking if we know anything about these robbers.
I still can hear you, Daniel.
But I was asking if we know or we've been able to gather any information about the robbers.
Well, the robbers, multiple sources, anytime there's a robbery incident, people that we speak to, they normally mention that these are Fulani herdsmen, but we have not been able to independently verify that particular claim. Particularly yesterday, the young man who was shot in that particular robbery attack, when I was speaking to him, he said he saw these attackers and they were all Fulani herdsmen. And so it looks like these are the people. I mean, these are the people that are currently engaging in the robbery activities, at least from the multiple sources, victims and eyewitnesses that we have spoken to. They have all said that these are people that look like Fulani herdsmen.
Thank you very much, Elias Utanko, for joining us. Now, 1,585 people have so far died of road accidents, with at least 1,150 people dying in the first 6 months of the year. That's 15 of an 80-seater busload of people. That's the statistics that the National Road Safety Authority wants every driver to remember each day as the elections and Christmas approach. Survivors of some of the accidents have been sharing their stories at a ceremony held to remember road accidents victims here in Accra. Linda Darko's report, back to you.
That is a woman who lost a fetus in a road accident. She can hardly speak, even though she has been invited to share her story at the World Day of Remembrance for Road Accident Victims. At least 6 people die in road accidents every day, according to 2019 statistics by the MTTD. 2 others also shared stories of how they narrowly escaped death.
And all of a sudden, no car, no a born, no no.
In the first 6 months of this year alone, almost 1,150 people have been killed in road accidents. That's about 15 of an 80-seater busload of people. This program was organized by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to create awareness as the elections and Christmas draw closer. Authorities say checking speed limits will be priority going forward. Mabel Sego is Chief Director of the Transport Ministry.
The ministry will continue to support Road Safety Authority and DVLA to implement the following measures: the installation of speed limiters in all intercity commercial vehicles, ensuring that there are pre-departure checks at lorry terminals, to have passenger manifest, and also to ensure that we have mandatory refresher training for all commercial vehicle drivers in line with Regulation 33 and 125 of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, LI 2180.
For his part, Chief Executive of the AMA, Mohammed Ejay Soa, said police now have gadgets to help in easy identification of perpetrators, who he says will be severely punished if caught.
We have also supported the police with a laser cam 4-speed detecting cameras that we are expecting the police to use it. This is the latest speed cameras that we have in our country, and we have provided about 6 to the Ghana Police MTT department. It is not like the ordinary speed gun that's what has been using, but this one captures the speed in terms of video, and it will be telling you the speed at which that you are, so that when you send someone to court, you have an evidence to present to the judge for the punishment.
The National Road Safety Authority has partnered JoyNews for several months to roll out the Arrive Alive campaign. Director General of the NRSA is appealing to all of us to be vigilant on the road.
I want to encourage all Ghanaians that we should obey rules we should not overspeed. We should, when we talked about jaywalking, walk on the right side of the road so that you can see the vehicle and the driver can also see you, so that you can protect yourself. Crossing roads as places that are not designated. If there's a footbridge, let us use it. The government have built bridges for us. Let us use the bridges. They will protect us. And then, of course, the use of our seat belts and our crash helmets. If you're in a vehicle, there's the provision of seat belts. Let us put on the seat belts. If there should be a crash, you would save your life.
More for Christmas, Ghanaians are reminded that arriving at your destinations should be your priority when you get on the road. Linda Darkos reports for JoyNews.
Now, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, says the biggest last respect it can give to its founder and former president, Jerry John Rawlings, is by winning the 2020 elections. Various speakers at a vigil at the Obra Sports Sunday evening said that is the only way the party can properly implement the values of probity, accountability, transparency, and integrity. Maxwell Agbagba reports.
Many of the party supporters became emotional as the flute was played. It was a mix of bobobo, solemn music, interspersed with speeches from some top officials of the party. Chairman of the NDC, Samuel Ofuswampofu, says the best gift the party can give to its founder is by winning the 2020 elections.
There is only one thing I ask of you. Let's close our ranks. Let's come together. Let's actively participate in this rescue mission to rescue Ghana. Focus on the election, because we need to win this election. The best tribute that we can pay to the memory of our founding father is to win this election convincingly, so that we can continue to uphold the flame of the principle that he stood for.
General Secretary of the party, Johnson Esiedu Nketia, believes that is the only way Jerry Rawlings' legacies can live on.
So the best tribute we can pay to the memory of our founder is to accomplish the rescue mission that will position us to implement the principles he lived and died for. He taught us that in every struggle, when comrades fall, we walk over their bodies to ensure that the mission is accomplished before we come to count the dead. So, ladies and gentlemen, be fired up by the temporary demise of our founder. To win these elections and rescue this nation, Ghana, which was dear to his heart, from the very ills he has fought against all his life.
Children of the former presidents Zaneto and Kimathi Rawlings were at the vigil. Zaneto Rawlings says to honor the memory of Jerry John Rawlings, Ghanaians have to protect what they have during the December 7 elections.
As we stand here today to honor his memory, I will leave you with a quote from my father. We often get lost in the games of politics and often forget our North Star should be our principles, values, and kindness to one another. We often get lost in the games of politics and often forget that our North Star should be our principles, values, and kindness to one another. In many ways, this is summed up by the golden rule, that we treat each other as we would love to be treated. I pray that as we enter this period towards the election on the 7th of December, that we let these values live within us and we absolutely protect what we have as a nation, because that is how we will honor his memory. I thank you and God bless you all.
NDC presidential candidate John Mahama was present at the vigil with his wife. He has been eulogizing J.J. Rawlings.
What happens with our mortal remains are ephemeral. As was said by Shakespeare in the book Julius Caesar, the evil that men do lives after them, the good is often interred with their bones. For the cadres of the revolution and the members of the NDC, we must work and fight to ensure that his good is not interred with his bones, and that his positive impact on the history of this nation is preserved for posterity, and that the principles that he stood for are recounted to future generations yet unborn. Thanks to the organizers of this vigil, there's another joke we shared at Hogbechocho. We were sitting together and the Agbaja was taking place seriously, and all the back, moves and all that. And then I cracked the joke. I told him, I said, boss, I called him boss. You see why you Ewe men don't get backache? Because of the vigorous Agbaja and the back exercises you do. He laughed and didn't say anything. And then that occasion you saw was when he was being given a doctorate at the University of Development Studies. And while we were at that function, there was a cultural troupe from the north that was doing the Bamaya dance. And for those of you who know the Bamaya, it involves a lot of waist shaking. I thought he had forgotten about this, and he said, Chief, you see why you Northerners don't have waist pains? You see how they are shaking their waist? That's the kind of person we have lost.
Now, the flag bearer of the opposition NDC, former President John Dramani Mahama, has signed a book of condolence in memory of the late former President's Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. Government has set aside 1 week for the mourning and remembrance of the demise of J.J. Rawlings, who died last Thursday, November 12. Today's event is among many other arrangements to honor the former president. Several other state officials and dignitaries are expected to go and sign the Book of Condolence, which has been displayed at the Accra International Conference Center. My colleague Fred Smith is there and joins us live with more. So Fred, who else has been to the conference center and what have they been saying? Right, and in your shots there is former President John Dramani Mahama. Seated beside him is his wife, Lordina Mahama. They are signing the Book of Condolence, which has been laid at the Accra International Conference Center, right before that portrait of the former president, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. The family, of course, have told us that there will be no one-week commemoration for the former president, as custom dictates from that part of the country. Fred Smith has joined us via phone. Fred, who else has been there today? What have they been saying?
At Mood here at the Accra International Conference Center, where a desk has been placed and dignitaries are filing past that desk. On this desk is a portrait of the former president, Jerry Rawlings, and he's donning his signature fugu over a white shirt. By the side is a Ghana flag. That's where many dignitaries have been filing past and signing the Book of Condolence. The Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, the Chief Justice have been here. The son of a late former president, John Evans Mills, also Kofi Mills, has been here. The Chief of Staff has been here as well. As I speak to you, lawyer Sam Okujeto is signing the Book of Condolence. Other persons who've been here, the Deputy UN Secretary General Amina Mohammed was here a while ago, together with former Foreign Affairs Minister Hannah Tete, who also signed. And on the side, we have the family of the former president. Kimati Rawlings is here. That's the son. Daughter Zanetto Rawlings, who is also an MP, as well as their other siblings. There are other family members with them as well. And they are receiving the dignitaries who are coming in to sign the Book of Condolence. Later on, we expect former President John Adikonkufo to also come here and sign. Earlier, we had the former President John Mahama signing the Book of Condolence.
Fred, thank you very much for bringing us those details. Now, former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Paul Edujemfi, has reiterated the need for the country to train more lawyers. The fair and just society is to be achieved. He says the notion of a glut in the training of lawyers must be discounted, while a special fund is set aside to train lawyers. He spoke at a ceremony to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Ghana School of Law in Kumasi.
The commemoration of the 10 years of the existence of the Ghana School of Law, Kumasi, brought together members of the Ghana Bar Association and all students. Over 500 lawyers have graduated from the Kumasi campus since its inception 10 years ago. Former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Paul Edujemfi, says more lawyers need to be trained. He suggested a special fund to promote legal training and encourage research in law.
We rather need to train more lawyers in our search for a just and fair society in Ghana. We salute the founding fathers for their vision to open up the Kumasi campus and hope that our overstretched lecturers will continue to give their best to make an enduring dream possible. A fund should be set up as a matter of urgency to promote legal education and training in Ghana. A fund that will ensure the construction and maintenance of infrastructure and encourage research in law and motivate lecturers.
Chief Justice Kwesi Enim-Yeboah revealed the General Legal Council will ensure full implementation of its legal authority in enrolling only students who obtain LLB degree from universities approved by the council.
The review and development of the curriculum, method of instruction, and the admission procedures of all the approved universities running the LLB program. Simultaneously, the General Legal Council will also ensure the full implementation of its legal authority to enroll.
You're live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi. Now, the Multimedia Group once again underlined its credentials as the most authoritative media organization in Ghana after winning 4 prestigious awards at the 31st CIMG Marketing Performance Awards themed Marketing in a Disruptive Era. The event awarded businesses and some personalities who have adapted their approach and maintained standards of excellence regardless of the COVID-19 pandemic. While the Multimedia Group was adjudged the Media Organization of the Year 2019, Joy FM's Breakfast Show, the Super Morning Show, emerged Radio Program of the Year, and the company's website myjoyonline.com also received Digital Media of the Year and New Media Commercial Awards. There's more in this report by Joy Businesses, Bismarck Ewusa.
Congratulations to the Multimedia Group for picking up the Media Organization of the Year 2019.
While the Multimedia Group was adjudged the Media Organization of the Year 2019, Joy FM's Breakfast Show, the Super Morning Show, emerged the Radio Program of the Year. And the company's website, myjoyonline.com, also received the Digital Media of the Year and also the New Media Commercial Awards. Speaking to Joy Business, host of the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, Kojo Yankson said the recognition underlines the Multimedia Group's credentials as the most authoritative media organization in Ghana.
It's simply the result of hard work. You know, Multimedia has really risen to the challenge over the past few years. You know, as competition has got stronger, it has become more and more important for us, the leaders, to up our game and keep our heads up and above the competition. And a night like this, where we have picked up 4 awards, is just demonstration that indeed we are still keeping our stamp on the industry, and Multimedia remains the leader. Long may we do so.
Kojo Yankson also assured the general public of a fair and credible coverage of the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections.
We've already laid out a plan for 2021 which is going to blow the minds of our audience, starting of course with the elections. Nobody covers elections better than Multimedia. The election headquarters has been underway for some time. We're about to kick things into gear and cover elections this year like it has never been seen before.
On his part, National President of the CIMG, Dr. Daniel Kasati, warned the business community against unauthorized award schemes.
We wish to bring to the attention of said bodies that with the passage of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana law, they require the express approval of the CIMG as the sole professional body mandated by law to set standards and regulate marketing practice before conducting such awards. We also caution potential awardees of such illegitimate awards to always conduct the needed due diligence before accepting such awards.
Speaking on the theme Marketing in a Disruptive Era, special guest of honor at the event, Professor Noel Tego, admonished businesses to see opportunities in disruptions such as the COVID-19 pandemic.
To survive, you need resilience. To revive, you need agility. And to thrive, you need to be innovative in the kind of things that you do. And the fact that you can be viable is because disruption presents you with opportunities. And you've got to be able to see those opportunities and work through those opportunities.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwasi Agyemang, and Group CEO of Hollard Ghana, Patience Achiano, emerged the CIMG Marketing Man and Woman of the Year, respectively. In all, about 48 awards were presented. Bismarck Ewusa's report for Joy Business.
Now, investigative journalist Kwete Nate also backed the Journalist of the Year honors as the second edition of the Ghana Cocoa Awards. The ceremony sought to recognize concerted efforts by individuals and organizations in making the cocoa industry robust. Now, at the West Africa Media Excellence Conference and Awards Wameka, freelance journalist Manasseh Awuzuri-Awuni also picked up an award for anti-corruption and Journalist of the Year for the Hotline documentary, JoyNews' Hotline documentary, grounded wheels, and that also happened on Saturday night. So congratulations to Manasseh and Kwete, and thank you to you, our viewers, for making us relevant and supporting us as we picked up the CIMG Awards. It's still live on Joy News today. Coming up in business, the Association of Ghana Industries calls for a reduction in policy rate to make local SMEs more competitive as Continental Free Trade Pact commences soon.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The Association of Ghana Industries is calling for a reduction in the policy rate, the rate at which Bank of Ghana lends to commercial banks. The policy rate presently stands at 14.5%. Vice President of the association in charge of small-scale businesses, Humphrey Eyim Dake, says a cut in the policy rate to a single digit will enable SMEs compete fairly with their counterparts when the Continental Free Trade Agreement takes off in January next year.
Building capacity is the most crucial issue, and therefore we urge the governor that regarding the financial reforms that had taken place recently, it's our wish to see the policy rates dropping to a single digit so that we can compete fairly with the Francophone countries who are neighbors, as well as the European countries. That becomes the basis of cost of funding being reasonable for the SMEs to build on their capacity and their managerial capacity. It's quite exciting to see what government is doing regarding converting the NBSSI to an enterprise authority so as to leash out managerial support to SMEs. So the horizon looks promising. Yes, we're going through a trial period because of the COVID. That is not in doubt. The Ghanaian economy, undoubtedly, it's over 80% SMEs. And there are essential products that are imported to this country by about 20% of the business entities that fall within bigger blue chip companies and some SMEs. So some level of resilience are already within the system. The question is we need to prioritize the products that are being exposed to the continental free trade regarding the tariff harmonization.
While in response, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, said the policy rate will reduce when the current fiscal constraints ease.
Policy rates over the last 3 years, we have consistently gone down on the policy rates over the last 3 years till January this year, when we stopped at 14.5%, and the monetary policy rate has sort of stayed there. And there are reasons why they have stayed there. You're looking at the impact of the shock, and the impact of the shock, especially on the government's finances and the budget. So this is not the time to put the financing of the budget at risk by sort of going further down on the policy rate. And I think that as we move into 2021, when the fiscal challenges are sort of moderated, one can reasonably expect the monetary policy rate to respond to those improvements. Ghana has a strong, robust payment and settlement system infrastructure, supported by strong legal and regulatory frameworks, which can be leveraged to support regional financing activities. These include a well-integrated payments and settlement system, the GIPS, the Central Securities Depository, which facilitates dealings in securities market, the collateral registry, and the credit reference bureaus to enhance the credit environment, the Financial Intelligence Center to address the money laundering and anti-terrorist financing issues.
In other news this afternoon, the Secretary General of the African Development Bank, Professor Vincent Mahil, has advised government to reconsider the $150 charge for COVID-19 PCR tests at the Kotoka International Airport. According to him, the cost of testing is exorbitant and has the potential to affect free movement, which is paramount for the integration of the continent. Professor Mahil made the call in a meeting with the Finance Minister.
Is integrate Africa. Of course,
What more can you say about integration? The African Continental Free Trade Area is in Ghana, the headquarters. Of course, that is one aspect, Africa trading with itself. The other aspects are a lot of things, including the free movement. In fact, Honorable Minister, that brings me to my encounter at the airport that I have to pay $150 to do a COVID test. It was scary for me as I came through, and I said, that's really going to hamper a lot of free movement. It's very exorbitant, if you ask me. I just came from South Africa where I did a COVID test of less than $10. And so I really wonder what that means for, I have a family of 7. So if we're coming to Ghana, each and every one of us will pay $150. I'm not sure that I want to come, but I love Ghana so much that I want to come. So something needs to be done. I saw the bank officials really setting up a bank counter, and I'm wondering, is this a bank or is this an airport?
All right, we've got a full bulletin of business news coming up at the top of the hour. Sports is up next.
Well, welcome back to the sports segment. We do apologize for that little hitch, but let's go back to the sports news, where match day 1 of the Ghana Premier League so far has been very intriguing, with just one victory so far for Wafa against King Faisal. The rest of the games that have been played all ended in draws, and one of which was Asante Kotoko as they faced 11 Wonders, and according to their head coach, he says it's a wake-up call for the Porcupine Warriors ahead of the new season.
Playing away from home started from last season, and it hasn't been helping us. I mean, it's always better to be in front of your home fans, even though we are under partial lockdown. But playing in Kumasi means a lot to the team. But that is not to say that we can't play also in a way. Normally we do well in Accra matches, and this is the first league match. Yes, we wanted to, secure the 3 points, but unfortunately it couldn't happen. But we will still work hard. It's just the first match. The team is still gelling together, and I believe that as time goes on, the team will become much better than we did today.
Well, another Ghana Premier League match which ended in a stalemate was between Ashanti Gold and Karela United. The match, which came off at the Obuasi Clay Stadium, ended 2-2, and Ashanti Gold coach Milovan Sekovic is unhappy with the results and asks that more quality is needed in his squad.
I'm not satisfied how they play today, but I'm satisfied in the finally 1 point in 1 point. Okay. I think we play a little better than other team, but this is football.
What do you think you could have done to win the game?
Very short time with them here. I cannot recognize now everything about it, but we play very defender. They are not concentration 2 times.
Is there something you can do to get the best out of these players?
Yeah, of course, we will after trainings, more trainings, we will make better team and better tactic, better technique, better everything, and we will play better.
So those were some of the Ghana Premier League results that did take place yesterday. Or in case you're wondering, match day 1 concludes tonight when we see Liberty Professionals face Bichim United at the Carl Randolph Park this afternoon, and then Dreams FC come to Accra to face Inter Allies at the Accra Sports Stadium at 6 p.m. and that would definitely be a tie to keep an eye on. But let's move to some international news now, where former Liverpool and Barcelona midfielder Javier Mascherano has announced his retirement from football at the age of 36. We do have more for you in the following report put together by Joy Sports' Elon Benaya.
Mascherano, the most capped player in Argentina's history, made the announcement in a press conference at his current club Estudiantes. After a controversial move to West Ham United alongside Carlos Tevez in 2006, Mascherano moved on to Anfield, where his initial loan deal was made permanent in January 2008. The Argentine impressed under manager Rafael Benitez with his trademark hard-tackling style of play and made 139 appearances in a successful 3-year spell for Liverpool. Mascherano then got his wish to move to the Camp Nou. joining Barcelona for a fee in the region of £25 million in 2010. He made 334 appearances for the Spanish club, winning 2 Champions League titles and a pair of Club World Cup titles with them, along with 5 wins each in La Liga and the Copa del Rey. Marciano made his debut for Argentina as a 19-year-old in July 2003, handed his first opportunity by current Leeds boss Marcelo Bielsa, and went on to make 147 appearances and score 3 goals for his country. The midfielder played a pivotal role in Argentina's 2014 World Cup campaign in Brazil, which saw them reach the final but suffered extra-time defeat to Germany. His final appearance for Argentina came in the 2018 World Cup in Russia, where he started in a 4-3 loss to eventual winners France in the round of 16.
So that report was put together by Asari Bediako, and don't forget that Dreams FC would be playing Inter Allies later tonight, and you can get updates on that match live on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at JoySportsGH, so do well to follow that account as well. But my name is Orek Wampofo. That's the sport for now, and the world news continues right after this.
Now in showbiz, Minister for Information Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah says the pond full of catfish in his constituency, Etreso of Fuasia Yirebi, is being considered by the Ministry of Tourism to be used as a full tourism facility. Speaking to Becky in a yet-to-be-aired E-Vibes interview, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah said some investments have been done to make the place more attractive.
So for every conversation that is going on at the national level that you are required to lead, you have to remind yourself of where you are from, the interest of the people, how people can understand or not understand what you are talking about, and do your very best to break it down for everybody to comprehend. So if you ask me, where I come from has a lot of influence on how I go about my daily work today.
Since we're talking about selling this place to the rest of the world, I'm sure that a lot of people would want to visit. And
yes.
Are we ready?
Not yet. We have to do some investment here. We've worked with the tourism ministry. They've just done a fund for improving tourism facilities across the country. This is one of those that we've put in an application for. And our expectation is that once we get that one up and running, we'll have an opportunity to at least have a viewing deck somewhere here so that people can sit, some activity can go on, while they also have a good view of what is going on here.